would be a lot better than the Irish Springs and the Coast that I was using because they had moisturizers in them. Now, regular soaps are made from stuff like lard, tallow, talc, even triclosan, which is a chemical that was banned by the FDA in 2017. But can you believe it? Some companies are still using that chemical. Now, I started using the Dial soap, and it seemed a little better, but not that much. Not until I found pure Castile soap. Oh man, that just changed my life. And that's what I use today. Specifically, Dr. Bronners. It's not like regular soap. It is a whole lot more eco-friendlier and safer for you, your body, your skin than those regular soaps. It's not made from those harmful chemicals like I mentioned earlier, the lard, the talc, and stuff like that. Pure Castile soaps, like Dr. Bronner's, are made from vegetable oils, traditionally olive oil, one of the best and number one oils that I use in my house. Now, Castile soaps can also be made from plant oils, things like coconut, hemp, sunflower seed, palm oil, or my other favorite, jojoba oil. And Dr. Bronner's is all organic and vegan too. Now let me tell you how I really began using Dr. Bronner's soap. I used to live in LA or Los Angeles, for y'all don't live in California. I had a problem with these ants in the duplex that I lived in. I was having some terrible problems with ants coming in my house and being in the house, in the kitchen and all of that. So I had to do some research. And I found an organic farmer when I went to this health fair. This is one of the holistic health fairs I used to go to in LA. And his name was Andrew Lopez. And being an organic farmer, they have to use all these natural substances and things to get rid of pests and keep those bugs off of their crop. So who's a better person to learn how to get rid of pests from than an organic farmer? So I end up buying his book. He has a book called Natural Pest Control. And what I learned was in nature, everything in nature has an enemy or something it just don't like. And all of those bugs and insects, whether flying or crawling, don't like peppermint or citronella. And I'm telling you, those ants were so bad. One day when I came home, they were all over my refrigerator. Climbing to the top of it. And I had this jar of honey that was on top. And they had just almost got to the honey. So I had to make me up a concoction or something using the peppermint soap. So I was able to spray that concoction on those ants and get rid of them. I'm telling you, it worked like a charm. But I guess I hadn't learned my lesson because this happened to me again. Only the next time, they were all over the top again, but they had gotten to my honey. They was all on top, covering the honey jar and everything on top of my fridge. I'm telling you, it was like a whole swarm of ants. Like a big army of them. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like a scene out of Twilight Zone or something. Those ants had me on edge. It was so horrific. I couldn't leave the house and stay out a long time for thinking about ants. I'm like, man, I can't stay too long. The ants might get on my refrigerator. They had me perplexed, I'm telling you. So I had to go and do a little more research and a little more reading. And I found out a way how to control the ants instead of just killing them. So all of this information is in Andrew's book. And it shows you how to make like a little feeding station that you have to put down in the ground bury it like 2 or 3 inches below the surface, so no dogs or cats or any of the animals out there will mess with it. And it's only for the ants. And basically, what it has in it, it's like a square wooden box, and it has a cup, like an 8 ounce cup, that I put sugar water in. I get some warm water, and I pour a little maple syrup or honey in there, because the ants like sweet. And I'm telling you, you bury that thing below the surface, and the ants will definitely find it. And it lasts maybe about a month or two, and then I dig it back up, and I have to replace, the sugar water, put another one in there, and hey, there you go. The ants stay outside, and they not inside my house, all on top of my refrigerator. So that was like a horrific lesson I had to learn, but I was determined to deal with those ants. And thanks to Andrew Lopez and his book, Natural Pest Control, hey, I learned a lot. So let me share with y'all now my concoction that I make up for natural pest control. Okay, these are the items you're going to need. Let me get my list. I don't want to miss anything. Of course, you're going to get Dr. Bronners peppermint soap. They come in different sizes, depending on how much of the concoction you want to make. May depend on the size bottle of soap that you get. But I usually buy the bigger one. I think it's like 16 or 32 ounces, something like that, because I use this soap a lot. And then you're going to need some essential oils. And I'll have these, of course, you can get them on my website. Peppermint and citronella essential oils. Because, like I said, everything in nature, especially those bugs crawling or flying, do not like peppermint or citronella. Also, you may want to add a little lemon in there, because I found out flies don't like lemon. So, this is what you're going to basically do. You need, of course, an empty plastic spray bottle. You're going to fill it up with water, say maybe halfway or 3/4. Then you want to take that Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap, put you about 2 squirts in there, 2 or 3 squirts, and then you want to get your essential oils. These essential oils give that concoction like the punch that you want, to knock those bugs out. So usually about 10 to 15 drops of the peppermint and 10 to 15 of the citronella will do good. You'll be able to judge if you need to make it stronger the first time you spray it on some insect. And then the lemon, I don't use as much because I don't have as many flies around in the area I'm in. So I may just only put 5 to 10 drops of the lemon. Then you take it and shake all that stuff up. And man, I'm telling you, you got a concoction that will kill just about any bug crawling or flying. Now there's another way that I use this concoction too. And I just learned this a couple weeks back. Grease on your pots and pans. I have this pan at the bottom of my new wave oven, and when it have the grease at the bottom of it, first thing I do usually is run it under hot water and try to rinse as much of that hot water on that grease as possible. And then I take my concoction, the same one that I use for bugs, spray it on the bottom of that pan, let it sit there for like 5 minutes. Then I come back and all I need is like a wet sponge or a damp sponge. And I just rub that concoction around in there, and that grease, I'm telling you, it really lifts that grease up like nothing, man. And you can just wipe that pan clean. And of course, it's going to smell good because you got the lemon in there or the peppermint, So you don't have to worry about that stinking greasy smell no more. Now, I also use these items on my rug because if you live in California, there's a lot of different spiders and, all kinds of spiders in California. And, they be crawling around on your rug whether you know it or not. Because when I put this, I have a concoction I make with baking soda. And when I spread that on my rug, let me tell you, the bugs do not want to be crawling on the rug. They all go up to the ceiling. And you see them crawling around your ceiling. So all you need is some baking soda. Get you one of those plastic Ziploc bags to hold maybe 1 or 2 cups of baking soda in. Just depends on how big an area of your house, you have rug on. Actually mine is wall to wall. So usually I had to put it maybe 2 or 3 cups of baking soda in a bag. And then I take the peppermint, put 10 to 15 drops of the peppermint essential oil and the citronella. Then all you have to do is shake all that up. Shake it up real good, to mix those essential oils up in there. And you got you a natural pest control substance. You just take that baking soda out and sprinkle it around in the area. It's best to do it maybe like if you're going to leave the house, then you sprinkle it around in all of the rooms and then you leave for maybe a couple of hours. That way it'll get to set and really, saturate that rug. And when you come back, you can just vacuum it up. You don't have to be in there smelling all that peppermint because it's going to be really strong, let me tell you. Even though peppermint is good for you, you're not going to want to smell that and that citronella, sitting in the house trying to let it saturate the rug. Now, another way I do it is use my concoction of the peppermint soap in the spray bottle with the essential oils. What I do, you have to get a rake. It's a rake you can buy for your rug. It's a special rake for your rug. Usually guys that do carpet cleaning know about this rake. So you take your spray and you get down maybe about a foot away from your rug and spray a section. Do a little section at a time, enough to be raked. And then after you spray that section, it don't have to sit long. You take your rake and you rake that rug, and that helps it to get into those fibers. Once that concoction get into those fibers, hey, no bug is gonna want to walk on your rug. I'm telling you. I came up with that way because I was using the baking soda so much. My vacuum was like shooting out puffs of baking soda every time I used it. And I had to actually go get it professionally cleaned. And the guys was telling me, it's not good to use that baking soda, all the time. They say, maybe use it half as much the time. And, that way you won't get all that gunk in your vacuum cleaner. So I don't do the baking soda as much as I used to before. I use the rake and spray, the concoction on there. Now I'm going to have links to all of these different products. The essential oils, definitely you can get on Mac's Herb Shop. I'll have the stock numbers, if not the links there for those. Andrew Lopez's book, I'll try to have a link or either the ISBN number for y'all. Now all you have to do is look in that area below the videos that says see more. You have to click on that little link that says see more, and that'll open up the description area, and I'll have all that information in there where y'all can get these items. And hey, maybe I'll be able to get some samples of the Dr. Bronners soap from them once they see how much I am promoting even more of their product to give to some of y'all, that watch the video. And of course, I probably can do some contests and things like that to give out some free samples of the Dr. Bronners soap. Well, hey, that's all I got today, folks. Thanks for stopping by Holistic Health Talk.